Hey everybody, so I've added some new things onto my Mercier page. I'm actually about to film my eyeshadow palette declutter now, so there should be some more stuff coming soon, but y'all know I have makeup. I have added a few pieces of clothes for those who like my fashion content. There are some clothes I decluttered from the clutter video. I am going to add a few more fragrances, so you can go check it out at the end of this video if you're interested. But now let's get on to the video. What's up everyone, it's your girl Gelbeauty 7 here, aka Grace, and it's time for another underrated versus overrated. So without further ado, let's get into this. But if you like new makeup release videos, if you like the latest complexion video, I've done the Patrick Ta, I've done the Huda Beauty, I've done the Makeup by Mario, and I've done the cosign. So I've been quite a busy lady. If you like a good fragrance video, I am currently editing the old fashioned video from Killian. If you like a good fashion video, I have one on the Johansson brand, the brand that Kylie tried to dupe one of her Skye collections from. You can see that. And if you like a good eyeshadow video, I recently did a why you don't need, dedicated to finding you affordable alternatives. Well, I shouldn't say affordable alternatives, but finding you alternatives in your collection to new palettes coming to the market. So if you like that sort of thing, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Now let's actually get into this video, which is about underrated versus overrated products. So this one you probably consider cheating. I don't necessarily do, because I feel like there's very slight differences to it, but it's so slight to, unless you've used this product consistently and religiously, I feel like you might not be able to tell the difference. The first underrated versus overrated product is the Easy Blur Primer from Huda Beauty versus the Glowish by Huda Beauty Blur Jam. So this is essentially the same thing. I'm just putting this in here for the people who know that this is discontinued and haven't tried this yet. This is the same as Blur Jam. This is a little less hydrating, and I mean by less hydrating, probably like that much less hydrating than the Blur Jam, and the consistency is a little bit different, but otherwise they both perform exactly the same. So you do not need to worry about running out of Blur Jam. Just go ahead and pick up this primer. They are exactly the same primer. So there you go. Just wanted to make sure I put that out there and made it clear for the people who didn't watch my Huda Beauty video, because I tried this against the against the new primer just to make sure they were same, because I felt like that's what they were going to do, especially because Blur Jam was so popular and they were getting rid of Glowish. So you know, it was just something I wanted to make clear from the jump. I actually found a couple of dupe perfumes at TJ Maxx and Marshalls recently that I wanted to share with you all. So the first overrated versus underrated we have is this Strawberry Letter. Now, I'm not saying any of these perfumes are overrated compared to the dupes that's out there. That's just the title of this video. I probably should have prefaced with that as well. But this is Mimic number 74. It is supposed to be a great alternative to Strawberry Letter from Fleur if you did not want to purchase Strawberry Letter from Fleur, because I know Fleur is somewhat expensive. This is a great alternative for you. I should have it linked down below in the description box, along with the other one I'm gonna have, because I have a couple from Mimic. I'm actually gonna do a battle of these side by side and see how it wears compared to Strawberry Letter from Fleur, because you all know I love me a good Fleur perfume, so I have quite a few. So I will be comparing it just to see if this is a better alternative than it. So I have not tried it yet, so this is just showing you all that there are alternatives out there for people who don't like to spend a lot of money on products. There is an alternative for you, and it's only $14.99 if you go to Marshalls or TJ Maxx. If you can't find it there, however, you can go online and purchase it there. So good dupe that I cannot wait to try out and see if I'm right. The next dupe I have to talk about, this overrated versus underrated, is number 54 from Mimic, and this is supposed to be a dupe for the Kylie Yum Pistachio Gelato. So y'all know I'm definitely gonna have to try this out. This is one of my favorite Kylie perfumes. It's one I reach for pretty frequently. I like to mix it with lots of things. So when I saw that they had a alternative to that one, I was like, oh honey, I have to try it. Now both of these are supposed to have oil concentrate in them, so I think that's what's supposed to make the scent last a little bit longer. If you all didn't know, like when you use a perfume, a roller ball, or perfume oil, I feel like it lasts longer than it does when you just use regular perfume, because it dries away, whereas the oil sits into your skin. So I feel like that's why they put oil in these, so it will make the perfume last longer, because they might not have the same ingredients as Kylie. They found similar ingredients and they put an oil in there to make their scent last longer. Now this is just a theory in my personal opinion, but they do smell pretty much the same. Again, this is one I'm going to test for you all in the future, so you have to wait and see about that. So I'll test this one and Strawberry Letter together, since they're both by the same brand, and then we'll see how they worked out. But I definitely wanted to talk about these because I was super excited. Because I had hoped to find this in TJ Maxx. And then I went in there and I found it and I was like, yes. So excited. So on to the next thing. So I got a couple of lip things. I got a face product, and then we'll end, of course, with the palettes because we know it's me. So I got a whole bunch of palettes. I'm actually wearing one of the underrated versus overrated on my eye right now. But let's get into this face product, then we'll do the lips and end with the eyeshadow. So overrated versus underrated, I have the new Kosas Cloud Set powder in the shade Peachy Against Peach Pie from Huda Beauty. I know a lot of people didn't like the Huda Beauty one because they said it made the under eye look dry and creasy. I used to have that experience. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's because of the way I changed, the way I prep and do my makeup, but it doesn't look like that underneath my eyes anymore. So I like it just fine now. But before I was like everybody else, like, oh, this is horrible. It shows every crease, wrinkle, crack, whatever. But I feel like the Kosas one gives a better coloring to the eye, and I do like it better, so I wanted to point it out and shout it out, especially give alternatives to people who don't like the Huda Beauty one. You might want to try out the ones from Kosas. I love the Kosas powders. I think they did an excellent job, and I'm so glad they came up with more colors because, honey, I bought every color except pink, and I'm tempted to get the pink. I don't know how it's going to look under the eyes of some of my skin tone. So if some of my skin tone has bought it, I will go watch their video, and that'll help me determine, because when the sale comes, I can see myself picking it up too. I love Kosas powders. I think they do an excellent job when it comes to powder. The sad part is I don't like their foundations. Their concealer is fine and their powders are fine, but their foundations don't ever seem to work for me. The skin tint didn't work for me. The foundation didn't work for me. Now I want to mix the skin tint and the foundation together. They work just fine. Random side note, but I really love their powders, so that's why I want to make sure I gave an alternative to the Huda Beauty one, since I know a lot of people were saying they were having issues with it, and I originally did myself. So just something to keep in mind. Now onto these lips. Now I'm not saying these lip products are exact by any means. I feel like they'd be good alternatives. So like if you were in a pinch and you wanted to try it out, or you need an alternative to something to last for a decent amount of time, I feel like this would work for you. So the first overrated versus underrated, we have the Huda Beauty liquid lipsticks, and then I have this Essence 8-hour matte liquid lipstick. So the shades are not the same when it comes to this brand, so just keep that in mind. I did a video comparing both of these. I think it's coming soon. Do not quote me. I feel like it is. But yeah, I think, matter of fact, I think I tried these out in the Huda Beauty foundation video, along with the lip glosses that you'll see in a second. But yeah, these are not exact by any means. Like the Huda Beauty one is definitely more liquidy. This is more of a moussey consistency. However, I'm talking about both of these when it comes to lasting power. The lasting wear on both of these is very similar in my personal opinion. So if you like a more moussey effect and not necessarily a liquidy feeling lipstick, because these to me feel like more of the dose of colors when it comes to that liquid, sorry, this feels more like the dose of color one, since from what I remember the dose of color was is a little bit liquidy but a little bit of a moussey type texture. So I feel like the Essence one is good alternative to this if you just need some 8-hour wear and you don't want to spend a lot of money, because remember the Huda Beauty ones I think are in the 20 something range, and since it's Essence I'm pretty sure that I paid $4.99 for this. I'll show you both the colors on my hand just so you can see. I'll try to swatch around where I put the eyeshadow. I forgot to swatch off before I started this video like a clown, but you'll see like the colors are not the same by any means, and this is definitely a more like moussey texture, if you will. So this is what it looks like. So this is the Huda Beauty one, and this is the one from Essence. I do feel like you have to build up the Essence one a little bit as well. However, again, it's like a $5 lip product, so it's like you shouldn't be expecting too much. Girl, it's $5. Okay, I'm just saying. Next, overrated versus underrated. Now this is one of my favorite lip glosses, and I don't really buy it for the plumping. I buy it because it's supposed to get rid of the lines in your lips. That's what I like about theirs, and I have like 4 shades of this, so it tells you how much I like it in its formula and the fact that it removes the lines in your lips. However, if you don't care about the lines being removed in your lips and you're more about the plumping of it all, I feel like you might like this one. The only thing is this one plumps a lot longer than this one does, so I feel like you'll feel the sensation in the Essence one quite a bit longer than you will in the Huda Beauty one. I don't feel like I feel any sensation honestly in the Huda Beauty one, but I do like the formula of it and the line thing. Like I said, it's really like the fact that it gets to the lines in your lips for me that I like about it. I don't really care about the plumping. If you're concerned about the plumping, then like I said, you might like the one from Essence. Keep in mind that the ones from Essence, they have some glitter in it. They do have more than just this shade as well. So the bright pink one is Huda, and then this shade is Essence. Just keep in mind the Essence one is going to plump so much longer than the Huda Beauty one. So as long as you don't mind the extra plumping, it's not like it's a harmful or hurting plumping. It's just the fact that it does does plump quite a bit longer in my personal opinion than the Essence one, that I keep giving like that, you know, warning, if you will, for lack of a better term, like, hey, sis is gonna plump for a minute, so just, hey, it's gonna plump for a minute, just be prepared. Be prepared for the plumping that's coming with it. Okay, y'all, so let's end it off with the eyeshadow palettes, of course, because I have a plentiful of those, like a lot. So first, underrated versus overrated, we have the Sea Talk palette from Ulta and Lauren May Beauty alongside the Little Mermaid palette. I feel like both of these are actually quite similar, and I'm mainly mad at Sigma because they thought they weren't supposed to give me a brush but charging the same price as they do with a brush. Like, I don't know if anybody else is mad about that. I know somebody in my comment section, I don't remember if it's the shorts or like the comment section of this video, because I did do a video on this, are mad because they did not put the brush in here. Like, all the other mermaid ones have brush, and for people who are like completionists, who like the same packaging and all that, and have like stuff to be uniform, you're messing with their lives right now severely. But you see what I'm saying? Like, all the colors are similar, and that the only thing that's different is like the bright kelp shade, but that pink down there, it's not really pink, it's blue, and then the blue next to it is blue. So there's a lot of similar theming in this palette in my personal opinion. So that's why I figured if you already have this one, then maybe you don't need this one. But I did want to show you that if you have this one, it is giving some advice to this one, and you're not getting your brush like, you know, you might have wanted. So yeah, I'm real jaded about this brush. Like, you don't seem, well, I mean, I'm clearly you understand, because I keep, you know, harping on it. But you know, they're known for selling brushes, and you try to tell me I can't have a brush? Like, there's something wrong with this. Anyway, next, underrated versus overrated, we have the Heather Austin palette, which I feel like is actually the overrated palette compared to the Midnight Moth. I feel like Electrum Cosmetics is so underrated. And if you all remember, I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of this palette. I don't think my girl Dionluvsmakeup was a huge fan of it either, from what I remember. And I think she ended up getting broken out. But I wanted to mainly show this as an alternative to this palette, because as you can see, they have a lot of similar color stories, and we all know Heather's palette is limited edition. So this is mainly a limited edition situation. I'm not necessarily trying to bash her palette. I think she came up with a great color story. I love the color story of this. It's just I wasn't necessarily crazy about the formula of it. I don't know if they changed the formula for hers, like because she asked them to or what, but I feel like it wasn't exactly the same. I do really like this Electrum Cosmetics palette though. I have done a video with this. I don't know if you all have seen it yet or not. I kind of want to do a video battling both these side by side though, so you can get a feel of how it would look as on side of this one. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that. I keep coming up with these ideas for myself, y'all. Keep making more work for myself. I need to stop. But yeah, so Electrum Cosmetics is definitely a brand I think is underrated. They're coming out with a palette called Blood Moon soon, so be on the lookout for that if you're interested. I showed it in my new makeup releases video a while back, but you know, anyway, I love this palette based upon me trying it that one time, and I want to put it alongside this one to give you all the alternatives to this palette when it finally does leave for good. So we will be doing that. Okay, so the next one I had to think about for a little while, because like when I looked at it initially, I was like, I know it reminds me of a palette, but I don't know which one it is. And I have that feeling a lot of times when it comes to a lot of stuff I look at, I'm like, this reminds me of something. I don't know what it is. So, but the next overrated versus underrated palette we have is the Rick and Morty X Glam Light collection alongside the Beauty Moon Cosmetics Cosmology palette. I thought I had taken out the sleeve. I did not. My bad. So when I first saw it, I was like, it reminds me of something. I don't know what it is. And then once I like, you know, truly looked at it, I was like, it's a condensed version of the Rick and Morty Glam Light palette. Look at this and tell me this is not a condensed version of this palette. Like, this is a smaller version of this palette for people who like a big version of it, and people who weren't necessarily concerned about just having the blue, green, purple, and pink like in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air palette. I feel like this would be the perfect palette for you because it's a smaller version of this palette, and I feel like they have improved their matte formula quite a bit. So I like the matte formula on this one so much better than the matte formula I tried on the first palette I got from them. But yeah, both of these just look really similar in my personal opinion. So I was like, I need to tell the people, I need to let them know that if they don't vibe with Rick and Morty because of the SA allegations and the DV allegations, that you know, they can buy this Cosmetology Beauty Moon Cosmetics palette and you know, have a good dupe on their hands. So I made sure I showed that. I think I have a video or reel about it. If not, I need to do that. But yeah, it's definitely a good dupe alert. Last one I have to talk about is the ones that's on my eyes. So we have this Underrated versus Overrated palette. So we have the Tropical palette from Beauty Bay alongside the Melted Mattes palette from Beaute Bar. Now, I'm not saying Beaute Bar is overrated by any means. It's just more of, I feel like they're like, they've been dropping stuff consistently recently, and I feel like this is something that dropped last year, and then they relaunched it, and I don't know how many people knew about it. So that's why I'm saying that the Beaute Bar is overrated, because it came out this year. This came out last year, and they relaunched it this year for this summer. So I wanted, you know, people to know about it, so that's why I made sure I put it in this video. And as you can see, I'm wearing each one on each eye. Can you tell which eye is which? I feel like it's pretty obvious. I feel like this one looks more vibrant than the other one. That's the only difference. That will say though, I am disappointed by this one because I don't like the fact that you don't get any shimmers in here. And the Beauty Bay one, I do like the fact you have shimmers in, and I know people like shimmers and matte, so that's why I wanted to make sure I showed it to you so you can see the similarities and difference. I am going to put some shimmers in this once this video is done though. But anyway, those are the things I had to talk about in this video. Comment down below and tell me if you found a new love that you wanted to try. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. Make sure you subscribe. The membership is down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye. Fun doesn't have to stop here. Let's be friends over on Instagram to check out the latest fashion, fragrance, and palette comparisons. Make sure to head all over to my Instagram. The last one I did was Makeup by Mario. See you over there.